Hey, thanks again, Justin. Appreciate you having me on again. It was a blast the first time. I redid the jet motion clinic for some like Maine high school coaches 2 days ago, and this whole deal's been fun. Kind of a funny story. I was I'd had a few drinks on a Friday night, and and this has been a few weeks of watching your stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna message Justin and just be like, hey, if you ever need anyone else, if you ever scrambled for guys, let me know. I'll help you out. And then you message me like 20 minutes later, and it's like, hey, what about Tuesday? And it was like, oh shit, all right, let's roll. So it was kind of just like on a whim, and then but I really appreciate it.
Made it happen, man.
Yeah. Again, I'm Rob Bowkett. I'm the head football coach at Sauhegan High School. We are in Amherst, New Hampshire. We're about an hour and change northwest of Boston. We are a Division II school in New Hampshire. We have about 750 students in our school, and we will have generally mid 40s to about 50 players on our team. As the landscape comes back with football in our school and our community, we're an upper middle class community. So as things start coming, the pendulum starts swinging back towards football. Our numbers are rapidly increasing, which is great. We have 40 7th and 8th graders playing, and both our two youth teams went undefeated this past year. So it's been, football has had a lot of tradition in our town. We're the third highest winning percentage in the state of New Hampshire. And so football has had some great tradition, at our school. We've won 4 state titles. We were kind of the Buffalo Bills for a while there. We'd been to the show, but hadn't won it. But I played at Sauhegan. I'm an Amherst kid. I coached at a few different colleges in a prep school, but had an opportunity to come back home. And it's something about being the head coach at where you went to high school. It's something a little extra special about that. So I've been here for 3 years now. We've had some pretty good success, and it's just we're ready to rock. We got a pretty good team coming back next year, so we're hoping that the fall will get on time as scheduled, as I think it is. Sorry, sometimes when you convert to from Google Slide to the regular PowerPoint, sometimes it gets a little bit bigger, and when you convert it and when you put it back to presentation, but that's how it works. So we are a multi-read shotgun team. We play with various tempos, but we are no huddle. We hand signal everything in, just to kind of give you a background of what we do. So we're talking about read screens today, and all of our screens are multi-read in some way, and we tag everything off of your base play. So you already have some base plays that you already do, especially in the pass game or whatever your screen games are, whatever your perimeter screen games are, the bubbles, the key one, key twos, whatever you're calling it. You can attach that to other screens. Every screen has a read key. So whether we're reading a linebacker or a defensive end, so for the quarterback, he's always going to have one guy that he's going to read on these screens. It's not like we're running tunnel and you're just throwing tunnel. Like there's another component off of it. Going back to kind of what we've hit upon. So all of these are some kind of pass screen option or screen option. And you'll see how we do that after. If you're going to be an effective screen team, you got to practice screens. So we run a 10-minute team screen period, especially during preseason, on pretty much all of our practices. That's an offensive focus. We get them going we've done it 2 different ways. I think you have to do what's best for your team and what you have for depth. But we'll get the trash cans out there for the screens in terms of landmarks for the offensive linemen and for the skill players. And we'll go from one hash to the other hash. We got this these linemen are working screen to the left, these linemen are working screen to the right, and same thing with the skill players. If you need to go, if you can only go one huddle at a time, say your twos are like sophomores and freshmen, and you're putting in tailback slip screen in the first day, and the freshmen are like, what the hell is going on? I don't know what I'm doing. It's good to maybe have a couple huddles going, and maybe you're running some kind of like team takeoff period. Maybe your team screen period turns into like, now we're just going to get on the ball and run it three. This group goes, and then they move up a few yards, and then the next group goes, and then we're all going at the same time. So the younger guys have seen the older guys do it. Whatever you think is the most effective for your team in terms of what you got. But we practice, we devote some time to these in order to get, I think what you put into it, you're going to get. There's a lot of carryover for our offensive linemen when running these screens. You'll see that maybe it's the same technique, but maybe it's just a little bit faster in terms of them getting out. You can call, in terms of for us for screens, you can call these screens on any down. First, second down, you can call them whenever. Certain situations call for certain screens, but it's not just because it's third and long doesn't mean it's, hey, watch screen, and we're running tailback slow slip screen. We're calling that play on first and second down as opposed to third and long, your, I guess, traditional screen or draw periods or situations. The whole deal, athletes in space, defend the whole field. We want to 53 and a third. We want to make guys do all of that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't, kind of throw in kind of some guys who've been influential with us in our screen game. I'm a big end zone guy, Noel Mazzoni. A lot of the stuff that we do is predicated, it's from him and from what he's done at his stops. And, he's the OC at Arizona. And then a guy that I worked for, Pat Murphy, he's the office coordinator at University of Rhode Island now. I got a chance to work with him for a year and a half. And, he's been a spread guy and doing multi-reads before kind of anyone. And we were doing some crazy shit when I was at St. A's, and, we're running tunnel and reading the corner. And, he's kind of the first guy that was like, you can read anyone and everyone on the field in whatever plays you want to do. So I think that just having that mindset, especially being at a high school level, where you have a little bit more freedom to kind of get creative in what you're doing. So the first one we'll talk about is our tailback slip screen. For us, it's paired with our base pass plays. So it's a pass screen option. And we've done it two separate ways, and you'll see both ways. And we'll talk about that in the next slide and how we've done it. We pair it with our base pass protection. So this screen is our first screen that we install. We install it day one. We also install it with our 5 and 6 man pro. And the first kind of few steps, we want to kind of make it look like what we're already doing up front. And then it kind of marries together when you're installing. It marries nicely. It's best, in my mind, to run off a zone coverage. Cover 2, cover 3. You can run it versus man. You just have to tweak what you're doing for us, it would be the single receiver in terms of how we're going to block it. You just have to, it's man now. You have to account for the guy that's man on the back. 2 count screen, 1001, 1002, O-lineman release. And then I'll get into the various coaching points in the next slide. In the last 3 years, we've run this 40 times and averaged 13.8 yards a play. In the 2 years ago when we first got there in 2017, we ran it 8 times for 8.4. The next year, 14 for 15.2. And then last year, we ran it 18 times at 17.3 yards a play. So we need to run this at least 1 or 2 more times a game. Like, what the hell are we doing? Okay. So I like running this out of 3x1 mostly. And we're always going to tag the pass option is always going to be here to the 3 receiver side. Whatever 3-man concept you want to do. The ones that we've done is last year we just started running stick, right? Everyone's got it. We've all run it. You can run this and run in lock zone, stick, whatever. You're already running all this shit. Great. So that's one way we've done it. We've also run 3-man snag, where we would be bringing, let me get my illustrator on here, where this guy would be running the snag route. You either have bubble or corner by this guy, or bubble or corner by this guy. 3-man snag, but the same deal. So whatever you're doing over here, if you wanted to run bubble over here, block here, run the bubble, you're still reading the same guy. So however you want to get creative on the perimeter is totally up to you. But I would suggest run some stuff that is already your base pass plays, or plays that you already run. On our before I get to the quarterback and continue, we'll just talk about the O-lineman's rules. Both of the tackles in this on our slip screen are doing the same thing. They're both pass setting. STD, set the drive. If he's pass set him up the field, invite the outside rush. If he sniffs out the screen, or if he jumps up, we teach our guys to drive him, and then if he jumps, to punch him in the dick, with 2 fists, punch him in the dick or in the stomach, wherever, to make sure that he's not trying to swat that ball down. Our front side guards, so all these 3 guys, the guards in the center, they are 2 count, 1,001, 1,002, club release. In the past, we tell the first guy out, perfect world, this is the front side guard. First guy out has got sidewalk. Second guy out, generally the center, has got alley. And then the third guy, we basically have him take the hole. So if the linebacker decides to sniff it out, we try to get him to handle the backer. We used to have the backside guard, the backside guy, as a rat killer, if guys are familiar with that. So he would be release, and then now he's kind of peeling back for the rat, basically blocking any D lineman that sniffs out the screen or that rats out the screen. We just found that because we do such a good job with we've done such a good job at like selling the pass first and then the screen, that we haven't needed the rat killer at our level. Or sometimes the D linemen that we see at times just don't have the ability to redirect enough or be disciplined enough to sniff out the screen, plant their foot in the ground, turn and run. So we've just, until we get some guy that's going to constantly make the play backside, this is how we're going to do it. The front side, the single receiver is going to push, and he's blocking man over 1. It makes it a little bit clearer and easy for him. If he's got press, he's going to run off and stalk. If it is man and it's a man team, we are going to push and crack the first, second level defender in the box. That would be a game plan adjustment for us while we're running this. The running back, you can put him on either side, but we like him opposite. I found that the most comfortable way you guys want to do it is fine. It's just up to this kid what works. So it just kind of flowed with protection by him going up into the line, kind of shuffle, and then he just turns right around. We've had him turn outside. We've had him turn inside really quick. We don't tell him to get to get 4x4 outside the tackle. We don't really tell him that. It just kind of happens naturally that he just kind of sits in that little spot. The biggest coaching point I would say for the running back is don't go until the guard goes. So as he comes up into the line, He's shuffling, and then the guard goes. Then that is when he would turn and accept the football. Coaching, so we talked about the O-line and, hey, sidewalk, alley, hole, great. But a lot of times, it's the biggest thing that you need that first guy to get is flat. So I've heard a couple coaches this offseason talk about, hey, you're getting flat, out, and up. And that's all that they tell, or some variation of that. And that's what they're telling all three of the guys. So they're all getting flat. They're all getting out. They're all getting up. Hey, first guy, flat. All right. Now the second guy, you're getting flat. Great. That's handled. Then now you're getting up. Because and you'll see on film where the first guy out gets in trouble, whether it's this play or any of your screens, is when he doesn't get flat enough and he just kind of goes to where the guy is, or he just gets upfield too much. Can't happen. You need him to get flat, and then he can get upfield if nothing is there. No enemy jersey. All right. For the quarterback's read, he is reading man inside of 3, generally the inside backer. So if the inside back and he and the gun catch 1, 2, 3, 3-step drop in the gun, 1, 2, 3, he hangs there, has this guy taken away the route that you're running that's going right here. If it's stick. Does he take it away? Is it snag? And if you're running snag, you got to bring their splits in, or else they'll never get there. Got to bring that snag in and condense the formation, or just tighten the splits. But you're reading man inside of 3. So 3-step drop out of the gun, catch 1, 2, 3. What has he done? If he goes with it, now we just slightly backpedal, kind of retrace. Not retrace. We just back up, get up on our toes, and kind of deliver some kind of off balance throw, generally how it happens, because we're inviting that rush in what we're doing. But you're not going to see our guy. Well, our kid this year took a little bit of time to get used to it, but the quarterback we had for 2 years, it was perfect. Catch 1, 2, 3, bang. Now I'm inviting the rush. It's not like the old days where it's just, hey, take a 12-step drop and then throw the screen. Well, you're telling everyone in the whole stadium that you're running screen. You're better than that. So I think we're good there. And we will get on to the tape. And then hopefully it's not too choppy, but either way, we'll figure it out. We'll adapt, improvise, overcome. So you'll see in a couple of these stick routes that our quarterback probably should have thrown the stick a few times, but we'll see that. So but is slip screen still a good play even if you don't throw the stick? Yeah. But you're still running pass plays over here. Excuse me. We should be reading this man here, number 3, man inside of 3. We're not going to count the high safety. And like I said, we like running screens on non-traditional downs. So this is first play of the game. We're running slip screen, and it works out pretty good. So our stick route is too deep. We don't love that, which probably is why our quarterback gets off it. See here. Pause. So we have first guys out flat. So our guard isn't super flat. We need him to get flat. You can kind of, I don't know if we have a tight shot of this one. We might actually, but you can see our running back comes up. He's kind of, it's natural for him, catch, and then get up the field. So first guy out ends up being the center in this case. He beats the guard there, but you can see how the coaching point that we'll make, the adjustment that we'll make to this year in terms of, hey, just everyone flat out and up or some version of that, then great. You could see how that would adjust. The backside guard now ends up blocking the inside linebacker, but, could he have thrown the stick here? Of course he could have thrown the stick. But the other screen is a good play. Now we kind of get some good open field, downfield blocks here. And this guy blocking here was the guy running the stick. So that's always good. But you figure, too, the first play of the game, you know, the D linemen are got their hair on fire. They're ready to get after it. It could be a great way to slow down the defense. Good look at it here. Pass set, you can kind of see the club technique by our center here. 1,001, 1,002. You'd like, we teach him to kind of get an open fist and smack the back of his shoulder pads. We got called for that once in college, but, you know, I think it's kind of a BS call, but you can see the pass set by our right tackle here. Pass set him up the field, wheel him up the field if you can. So this is why you need to get flat here. Our running back does a decent job at cutting this back, but we need to get guys flat out and up. But it's always fun doing that first play of the game. Here on this one, I love a slip screen in the first play in a 2-minute situation. So this is 2-minute drill here. First play of the 2-minute. We also tell our linemen, don't block the blitzers. You can see here the center does a nice job. He's setting, club, guard still got to get flat. But this is our other backside guard who there was no one to block. So he's just going up there too. So this guy here is our backside guard there was no one for him to block. He just kept going out, flat out and up. Same thing here. So could he have thrown the stick? I mean, he pushes to him, but the kid busts his route, it looks like. And then you have a good play. So here's a decent look at it. Man inside of 3 actually comes, but maybe because the kid busted, he's running a slice seam instead here. But we don't teach that. Like stick route, you're running a hitch, man. I don't know what else to tell you. But this is pretty good. Getting guys flat out and up. We have numbers. We can look at the running back and the lineman here. Shuffle, shuffle, get out. He's not in a hurry to kind of get all super wide. Especially if they have an aggressive defense. Here's a good look at the push crack for the first, second level defender in the box. Our receiver doesn't really want to touch him, it looks like. But we still have stick on. First guy out flat. So this is the front side guard getting out flat here. Center went out. Center actually took the inside linebacker. We tell our guys, don't pass color to get the color. Let me go back here. And don't pass color to get the colors is a pretty good general rule. Don't go to the guard goes for the back. And they were a man-free team mostly, so that's a free safety coming over there and missing the tackle. So this is nice, man inside of 3. He's covering that all day. I think the quarterback retreats a little too quick and a little too deep. He could probably invite the rush there. All right. They end up having one guy kind of sniff it out. But we do a good job. The running back does a good job not going to the guard goes. And then kind of finding that getting himself open there is really nice. And then we have guys flat out and up. Yeah, we don't need to see that. So here's one where we run the stick. We also try to tell our guys to, hey, if you want the ball, number 3, widen your alignment a little bit more to give yourself some more separation from man inside of 3. So he's running it here, and maybe this is not the best read by the cube, but the linebacker here, it's probably KYP. He felt like he couldn't get over there because he was a lineman type kid, and we had good enough separation. But this is us throwing the stick there. Decent completion, right? 2nd and 18 isn't great. Here's from my previous school. Who knows how long this was? But this is us running snag up top here. So you're going to see a snag route by number 1, snag route by number 1, a bubble by number 2, and a corner route by number 3. Snag for us is day 1, day 2 type install. So again, it goes back to just building off of your base stuff. So this is us throwing the snag. The linebacker, for whatever reason, actually shot out to the bubble. Our quarterback just bought a little bit more time. Catches the snag. And good thing, because our front side tackle here decides to cut on this. Like, that's a no-no. He got his ass ripped in film. But just finding the soft spot, and then we get good run after catch. This is my man Dejon Brissett here. He just got picked number 2 overall in the Toronto in the CFL draft last week to the Toronto Argos. Great kid, man. Great player. I don't think we need to see that tight. In my previous clinic utilizing jet motion, I think this is any way that you can want to base up your base plays. So maybe we're running this push motion or tear motion or rocket motion, whatever you're calling it. So here this week we had a series of plays based off of going 2 back, motion out of the backfield, and maybe it was zone read with the bubble. Maybe it was lock zone with stick. Maybe we're running snag something else. But for us now, all right, well, now we got a good little package of plays here. Now how can we run our base screen? We're going here. We're push cracking with the single receiver, and then leaking the back out late. He does a nice job here. This is a really good as a quarterback, kind of getting through, find that open area, flip right around. Don't be in a hurry to get out. And because they're a man type team, we get lucky here, but that's why we push crack with the single receiver. Push crack with the single receiver. We also tell this guy, take the high angle. Or take the high shoulder. So what does that mean? If I'm this receiver here, I'm going to keep a heavy upfield hand is what we say. Make him undercut this here. We just can't whiff, because if we try to go in there and we try to block him with that left shoulder and we're trying to take it, but he ends up beating us over the top, that's how this guy is going to come back and sniff out the screen. So this doesn't have to be like a kill shot, especially now with the new rules in terms of needing open hands if he's not looking at you. But as long as you don't whiff, make him try to undercut this, because then the ball is already going to be out there. So that would be the coaching point for the receiver on that. We're a big jet motion team. So you're running that package of plays to jet. Now you're Now you're coming back with some kind of counter, going to the weak side away from jet motion. So the coaching point for so Tyler this particular year, he would flip open to the quarterback, but he had a hard time sometimes when he would catch it. He would turn back into the middle of the field and then kind of work out. So for whatever reason, he had a hard time of flipping around this way, catching, and then going back up there. But it really is a feel for the running back. So you saw in this past year where they were opening out towards where the screen is, and for whatever reason, it was just easier to catch and then turn out that way, and you're already there. So it really depends. I would continue to do what is comfortable for your players. But we've done it both ways. But he's not in a hurry to get out there. This team, again, man-free team. Just let me know, Justin, if it's better if I'm slowing it down or we're doing okay. Just give me a holler if one.
Yeah, it's like a tad bit choppy, but really not bad.
All right, cool. I don't know why I'm so self-conscious.
I mean, if you slow it down, it may look a little better, but it's not bad.
Okay, all right, no worries. Again, jet motion with this team's a man-free team. The receivers coming in to push crack the linebacker who's man on the back, but he sees that he slips and doesn't really have to block him. This is in a playoff game and the weather was awful. That's what happens when you got playoffs in New Hampshire. But a really good job at getting flat by the guard. We're kind of getting a 2-for-1 with the corner. We'd like him to get a little bit flatter. The center's getting out there too for the alley. Cut some guys off. And we're converting a big, I love screens on if you get a penalty, or you get a negative play on first down, it's 2nd and 15, 2nd and 18 in this case, because we had a penalty to play before. A great time to hit them with the screen on 2nd and long. It's whether it's slip screen or tunnel. Should we get a few more in here? Really great job by our court, but you can see that the running back does the same thing here where he turns inside, oh shit, I got to get outside, and just does a really nice job at converting that there. So we could see him this year, particular year, we decided to flip him this way, and then he's still just quick shuffling over there. He's not trying to get out in front of the guard. This is why we don't go until the guard goes. And then just get out. Like here, our left guard, don't block the blitzers. This is good. You got to get just a hand on them just to kind of slow them down just a little bit, but we don't want to block the blitzers. Kind of buzz through a few more. So good job here. We'd like the receiver to push a little bit more, but he doesn't have to. We get hats on hats. And it's a good play. I don't like running slip screen to the 3 receiver side. I think there's just too many bodies out there. And you're needing some receivers to start blocking on the edge. A lot of receivers are blocking the edge. I don't like that. I have seen teams, I'll just draw it up, over here. If you're we haven't run shallow or drive in a few years, but if you're running shallow, and this is how you would do it at a 2x2, if you're running shallow drive, whatever the hell you're calling this, where you have the dig and the under route, it's a great complement away, running slip screen away from where the shallow guy is coming from. So if the shallow guy is coming this way, and you would still read the same guy, you would still read the front side inside. All right, he's going he's jumping on this. We throw the screen. But if you're already running some version of drive, it's a great, like, I would run it, and that gives you another way to run the slip screen. Hey, this week, how do we want to run slip screen? Well, we don't love it versus trips, so let's go 2x2, run something we already run, and build it off of that. So that's just kind of how you continue to build your offense. It's just kind of like little puzzle pieces that you're always like putting together and marrying together. Our next screen that we'll talk about is tunnel screen. These two screens, slip screen and tunnel screen, like, we major in these screens. These are what we do. The third screen we minor in, but these two we major in. Tunnel screen we pair with tailback swing or bubble. So for us, it's a screen option, and we do that to the field. We like it because the same rules for the offensive line as slip. It just happens faster. So if slip screen is a 2-count screen, 1,001, 1,002, this is kind of, it's not, 1,001 is a little too fast, but 1,002 is too slow. So it's like 1,001, 2, go, as opposed to 1,001, 1,002, then go, if that makes sense. But it's all the same blocking for the guys up front, which is nice. A lot of carryover of what we've talked about. Best versus off man and zone coverage. I know some guys enjoyed it if it's press man. They like that on the kick out. And I'll show you kind of when we get to the next slide. Some guys are good at that. Some guys struggle with that. So it all depends on the kid in my mind. We can all find one good tunnel guy. There are some guys that are great receivers that just have a hard time grasping the tunnel concept. We've been fortunate to have 2 guys in the past, so you can run it on both sides if both your receivers can do it. But for the most part, like, we're going to have one of our outside receivers is going to be a little bit better than the other one, especially with the ball in his hands. So get the ball to that kid. And then maybe you're structuring your offensive line that way too. Like, hey, we know that our left guard is better in space than our right guard, and the left guard is an ass kicker getting out. So let's kind of stick with that. The way we run it mostly is some form of 2x2, and we want to run the tunnel into the boundary. Where you can run it out of empty and go bubble to the field out of empty. We do it 2x2 with the bubble by the back. But I think that if you're running 2x2 tunnel, you need to run it into the boundary. Running it to the field, in my mind, it just takes too damn long. You're asking the lineman to get out there. If you're going to run, you'd rather run like lock key 1 or key 2 and get the ball out there without having to worry about your lineman getting out. I just think it's too damn far for the lineman to go and for that tunnel to happen. Like, you can just see it too easily. In 3 years, we've run this 97 times at 8 yards of play. And it's been pretty consistent. Like, 1 year it was 7.8, 8.2, 8.0. So it's been pretty consistent. This play is always in 3rd and 7 for us, 3rd and 7 plus. If it's 2nd and long, we're going to call this play. If it's a 4-down territory and it's 3rd down, I know I'm going to call this play because I'm going to get at least 4 and then be ready to go with a 4th down call. But it's a high percentage throw. You're getting the ball to 2 of your best players. You rep the shit out of it. You feel pretty good about it. It's great in the tight red zone if you know you're going to get some kind of off-man coverage. So 2x2 on the hash. Again, same deal for the offensive line. Nothing changes for them. In the past, I say this, I'm lying to you. In the past, we've asked this front side tackle, or technically the backside tackle. We've asked the tackle away from the concept side to reach the defensive end. Now we're just going to pass at them. It makes no difference to me either way. Now we're just going to pass at them. It makes things easier because now they don't have to worry about, well, on this screen, I'm I'm pass setting on this screen. I'm reaching. So now on both screens, he's just gonna pass set. We'll make it easy. 1001 to backside, or let me go to the front side. 1001 to release, flat, kick out, sidewalk. First, second guy out, flat, alley. Third guy out, flat. You kind of got the hole. You're kind of cleaning things up. On the perimeter, we're just running bubble. This is what we run. We run bubble. We need to block with outside leverage. We need to block with outside leverage by these two guys. You are blocking for running back swing. Great. The kick out man, number 2, it needs to push and kick out the man over 1. Coaching point for him is we tell him half the distance from where the man over 1 is. So is your landmark. So say if he's at 10 yards and we want to push and then kick out at the landmark of 5 yards. If he's at 5, it's going to end up being 2.5. If he's pressed, he's got to get flat now. So we do this because if he gets flat now and then tries to come up, that's bringing the man over him involved too soon into the tunnel. We want to push this guy vertically a little bit, make it look like that we're running vertical. So at least he needs to take a deep drop, and then as he comes down, then that makes it for an easier kick out for the first guy out. Sometimes he will push and go to kick out, and this outside linebacker will come in his vision. Take it. Be decisive. Be decisive. Don't screw things up for these linemen who have a harder time adjusting than little slot receiver, whoever your slot receiver is. So we just tell this guy, be decisive. Just even if you're wrong, be decisive, and that makes things easier for these guys. The coaching points for the tunnel guy is the biggest things for him. His steps are big baby baby is what we tell him. And I've been doing it. My man, Coach LaFontaine, taught me this back in like 2007. Big baby baby. So it's a big step with your outside step, and then kind of come into balance with your next 2 steps. Boom, boom. And then now you're retracing your steps. We also tell him to kind of aim a little bit outside when he's pushing vertical. So he is not pushing vertical straight up per se. It's more at an angle. And then as we retrace our steps, we're starting to run the Nike swoosh. So we tell our players, run the Nike swoosh. So if you can think of that Nike swoosh symbol, that's exactly what we want to run. Here, and then come around here, and you're catching the ball either at or just behind the line of scrimmage. So big baby baby is the big steps is the big coaching points for him, and run the Nike swoosh coming back. And then as you're coming around, so if I'm the left receiver here, as you're coming around, we have him like, it's kind of coach speak, but it's more for the quarterback. But we want the ball to be thrown on that upfield hand is where the quarterback should be putting it. For the quarterback, it is 1, 2, 3, turn and 1, 2, 3. Here, let me stand up here. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, buddy. So for the quarterback, it's catch 1, 2, 3. Say that inside linebacker comes down, man inside of 3, the guy in the red. If he comes down, then we're just dumping it to the back. If it's catch 1, 2, 3, he goes away, then we just turn and throw the tunnel. And you'll see it kind of times up nicely for what the quarterback for like the quarterback footwork. And you'll see that after this. So again, man inside of 3, he goes with the back, then we're turning the throw tunnel. I'm pretty sure I put one on here where we throw it to the back, 1 or 2. But for the most part, we've been hitting the tunnel. So this is this year 2 by 2. They're pushing out to the back. Now we easily could have thrown it to the back here. That would have been fine. But we do a nice job This kid's been running tunnel a bunch in his career, so he's got a pretty good view of it. 1, 2, 3, turn and throw. This is nice. Decent job by the quarterback. He's probably a little too quick to get out of there. But you'll see that the kid who runs it 2 years ago is a little bit better. So we get a push kick by the corner, or by the number 2. So down here, he's not as aggressive as he should be, but just like if you remember on the slip screen where we were push cracking the first, second level defender inside the box and not letting him beat us over the top, same deal on the push kick out. So if he's push kicking out, he, in theory, play with a heavy upfield hand. Play with a heavy upfield hand. Don't get beat over the top here. We want him to try to undercut this, because if we just can't whiff. If we whiff, the kid makes a great play. If we don't, you just get a hand on the screen is already going in through there and then coming up the tunnel. So the guy that's going to make the play is, if we don't get a decent block on this guy, he's going to come back over the top and then tackle our guy on the tunnel. So again, the coaching point for that push kick out is don't get beat over the top. Play with a heavy upfield hand. Make him undercut it. You just can't whip. So solid big baby here by the receiver. We get flattened out. So the first guy out. So the first guy out ends up taking the safety. Great. Second guy out ends up taking the inside backer, or he's just going for the alley. And then here would be the third, would be the backside guard now has a man hands on him, which is great. We end up cutting that back, but that corner probably could have made that play there. This is a different game. I know it looks kind of similar, but so our receiver here just felt the need that he needed to take maybe MDM for whatever reason. Hey, I'm just going to kick the shit out of this guy because maybe the corner is playing 10 yards off. Like, fine. Either way, you're decisive and you're making him right. The tough coaching point is once you get into the tunnel is now we need to get back inside. You see a lot of guys when they first start running this, they come on here and then they just start to cross the field like they're Reggie Bush or something like that. Bro, you're not Reggie Bush. We might have to call him someone else because maybe they don't know who Reggie Bush is, but he does a great job at going in and then back out to get into the tunnel and then get back out to the numbers. Hash numbers, hash numbers, hash numbers. Those are kind of your landmarks. Alley, get back out to the numbers. So good job. So this is our center. We have our left guard, our center, and our right guard all kind of up here blocking some guys. So that we made that adjustment just because they weren't sniffing out. They're not sniffing out the tunnel screen. It happens a little faster. It might be too wide. That might be too wide. Okay, decent job getting flat. We probably get away with one here by the front side guard. Sugar. This is a good look at the tunnel. We get a front side guard, probably blocks him a little high. He doesn't need to leave his feet, but he tends to be an ass kicker. So he's flat. The center now is blocking up on the safety. He's up on the alley. He's getting flat. I think the backside guard got cut up. He's getting flat there. And we have a nice little tunnel there. That's a good view of the tunnel in terms of getting back outside. Our quarterback does a heck of a job kind of buying some time here. But again, we love it down near the tight red zone. Good push crack by number 1. You can see he does a nice job at keeping the high angle. Guard gets flat. There's no one there. He goes up. Second guy gets flat. There's no one there. He ends up taking a guy inside. Keep buzzing through here. Here's one where we throw it to the back. This is a kind of a KYP moment where we knew that this guy was a good player. Their front side inside was a good player, but he wasn't as athletic as some of these guys. So maybe why he threw it to him, and then he made his adjustment. KYP, make a little move. Good. We get decent enough blocks on the perimeter. Probably should have got in there. But here you can see him. This is one where we're throwing the ball to the back. We tell the back to kind of cheat his alignment a little bit over the tackle. We like that a little bit better. Just maybe sometimes it's a little clearer in terms of getting him out now. We haven't done it. We've done it. We don't do enough of like the push motion where we'll motion this guy and then come back and run tunnel. We've done it before. I don't know if I put it on here, but we've done it before where he's opposite and then he goes in motion this way and run tunnel back the other way. So however ways you want to dress up the pig, do that. Keep scooting here. But you guys get the idea. Let me buzz through a couple more. And if anybody wants this, obviously, like we'll send it to anyone. You can see this is 2 years ago. We were telling the backside guard to be the rat killer. He's a little quick here to be the rat killer, but we felt like we were kind of wasting him. Again, just kind of finding ways to get your main athletes the ball right as a number one. This is again at our old stomping ground in Illinois. This is awesome. This is great from the tight. This is my man Dejan again. We don't have too many guys that can scoot like him. So this is a nice view of the swing by the back as he cheats his alignment. Malcolm here. That's nice. This is 3rd down and 13. They decided to bring blitz. So this is really nice job by our quarterback, kind of thrown away and protecting himself. This is a really good job. Are you? Sorry, I'm at home with my kids. Hey, I get to do some football and they get some TV. So really great job by Daniel on the push kick out here. He pushes them out. Awesome job by our frontside guard here. He gets flat and then nothing's there. He turns up and ends up cleaning out the corner. Well, that shit's a lot easier for him now. And then now we just outrun everyone else. So a really good, I think that new coaching point I'm using this year in terms of flat out and up, out, up and in for all 3 of those guys. And with the emphasis on getting flat when you're getting out. Yep, we've run out of empty. You're a big jet sweep team. Just more ways to dress up what you already do. We love tunnel out of empty, especially if you're going motion. Again, because we've run jet sweep like this. We've run power read out of empty. Now we're going empty, jet sweep, running tunnel back the other way. All right, we won't have as many clips on this one, but I know we're about an hour in. But again, so those 2 are the ones that we major in. The tailback swing screen is one that we kind of minor in. It's more of a situational deal for us. We pair it with tunnel to 2 and trips. Again, it's a screen option for us. It's the same for the frontside tackle, frontside guard, and the center. It's slightly this is the one where we're going to release the tackle now to get out flat. It's more situational for us, like we said, man, tight red zone. We run this screen mainly versus man coverage. 3-by-1 in my mind is the best. And in 3 years, we've only run it 22 times in about 5.7 yards of play. That's why we talk about in terms of, majoring in or, what we minor in. So the read on this one is the front side D end, okay? And the tackle and the guard on that side are taking 2 inside zone steps opposite, 1, 2, and then get flat and up. 1, 2, flat, up, alley, whatever, alley or in, whatever it might be. Our running back takes a jab step. We've done both, the outside step first, the inside step first, kind of whatever they feel comfortable with. Either way, again, he can't be in front of the tackle. Just like how he can't be in front of the guard on slip screen, we don't want him in front of the tackle on swing screen. We are push, crack, first, second level defender inside the box. This is why we like it a little bit better either versus cover 2 or man-free teams where we know that they may not have a weak side overhang. Because if they do 4-4, it's not great. It's not great versus that. But tunnel the 2 would be really good because now they probably don't have enough guys to the trip side. So you probably, in your game plan wise, should just be running everything to the trips. Here we are, pass set for this tackle. We are just like tunnel, 1001, 2, club, flat, kick out for the sidewalk, out and up. Center now has the alley here. So it's just like if these guys are running tunnel, it's basically tunnel to the right for the center and that play and that guard. And then now we are blocking man on over 1 here. And it's a good way to get tunnel to number 2 in trips. We like him to widen his alignment a little bit, run the Nike swoosh, big baby, come underneath, catch, get up the alley. Ends up kind of being a little bit just inside the hash. But a good one versus man. Same thing. So this, if we take this corner and receiver away, now this just turns into normal tunnel for the inside 2 guys. So he would be push, kick out, man over 1. So you can, or man over 2 in this instance. So it's the same deal, a lot of the same teaching. Now it's just getting, hey, let's get tunnel to number 2. All right, great. So this is how we do it. Could you run, say you're running 2-man snag, all right? And you didn't want it as a swing screen and you wanted him to just block him. And now you're running swing and snag. And now you're going to read this guy instead. Sure, now you just added a new, now you just added a pass screen option to your screens. Again, like however you want to dress it up on base shit that you already do. And then show some quick clips of that. So quarterback felt, same deal for the quarterback. It's the same footwork, but same footwork for the quarterback. I didn't do that for the quarterback. Same footwork for the quarterback on the swing screen as it is on tunnel. But now instead of reading the linebacker, we're reading that end. So 1, 2, catch 1, 2, 3. If he goes with the back, then he turns and then throws tunnel to 2. If he comes in hard, because these guys have been running inside zone steps, and comes in hard and doesn't take the back, well, now we're getting the back, and we hopefully are getting a 2-for-1, flat out for the corner, and away we go. So we end up throwing the tunnel to 2 here, but this ends up being a pretty good push crack by the single receiver. Maybe we got away with one. Not maybe we got away with one. We got away with one. See, the jab is probably a little fast for me by the back. It kind of he starts cutting it back. We get, but that's more for so we can see this play and how it works. Again, we don't major in this one. Here's a good view of the. This is pretty good. We get decent blocks out there. Guys getting flat. Push crack for the front side inside. And this is all that block needs to be by the single receiver. This doesn't have to be a kill shot, especially with the new rules. Get run over slowly. I don't care what we want to teach this guy. But don't get beat over the top. Don't get beat over the top here, because then he's going to come back and make the tackle. We get a piece of him. He tries to undercut it. He's not making the play. The ball's already past him. Flat, up, flat, up. That's the backside inside linebacker making that play. It's fine. It's a 10-yard game. Really good view of it here. We can see these two guys come down for 2 steps. He's in a hurry to get out of there, but we want to jab. We want to jab. We don't want him ahead of the tackle. Law of self-preservation, bro. If you get ahead of the tackle and this guy shoots down and lights you up, that's on you, man. Law of self-preservation. So that we knew that this was going to be a man team, so we kind of get a rub here, and the ball is, so we get called for a penalty here because our quarterback takes a little bit extra time. This is why we need to be on time with this one. 1, 2, 3, ball should be out. So whether the DN was a little late, whether the back was maybe a little fast, either way, that extra 2 steps makes it so this ball is caught just over the line of scrimmage, and we have our lineman like barely at 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. It's bullshit in my mind, but whatever you're gonna do. But you can see the push crack by number 1. He cuts his splits to help himself. That's great. We get a 2 for 1 there. This tackle does a great job at getting flat and then up. Nice. So it's well executed. They were just they were a pretty ticky-tacky in terms of where we were. Like, you know, that's just hard luck. But that just showed like you need to be on time on these things. Or I'll show you one where we're going tunnel to number. We end up throwing to number 2 here on the tunnel. We'd like him to, in alignment wise, to be outside of the hash in high school and do a better job. Just because we don't want him getting involved in all, like, don't get involved in all this shit in here now. Like, you're not built for that. Big baby, catch it, and then get north-south, and then get back out of the tunnel. Don't run to where all these dudes are. Law of self-preservation. I think he kind of felt that. He goes around his blocks, whatever. He was a great player. I don't care. Maybe go one more. So this is good. One more, and we'll be out. So they bring outside pressure here, up top. He jab steps, gets outside. Don't block the blitzers. Cut inside that block of the tackle. We teach that tackle the same thing on like reverses, where he's going to be the first guy to get out. Okay, that'll be good. Where he's the we teach that guy, the same guy on our reverses. He does the same technique as he would on the swing screen. He's blocking inside zone for 2 steps and then gets flat because he's going for the corner. So any questions, guys, just fire away. But I really appreciate your guys' time and Justin for putting this up. And if anybody needs this, like I can give you. I'll pull up my screen again, and then you guys can have my contact info. But again, I really appreciate you guys, and thanks, Justin, for everything.
Absolutely. I was just about to tell you to throw that back up there, Coach, if just in case anybody missed it, and if anybody has questions, man, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, and this is all on Huddle, so I can just share it with your school or whatever.
There you go. Appreciate all the coaches that jumped in here, man, and took the time out of their day. And of course, Coach, once again, thank you for jumping on and giving a great presentation again. Just like all of them. This one will be up on the drive later, so if you guys want to, rewatch it or check it out, or of course, I mean, the great thing is, right, just kind of passing the word along to other coaches, whatever they're looking for. I know coaches will ask me if if there's any resources for this topic or that topic, and just point them in the right direction. So I really appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.